The 1970s NHL had a lot of things, some interesting characters, some interesting, what do you call, divas, but we had some interesting hairstyles. Now, if you ever did a survey amongst true followers of the NHL, who had the best hair and sideburns of the 1970s? A player that if he wore a helmet, it would take away all his glory. Well, look at this photo, ladies and gentlemen. Does this man look like a rock star circa 1974 for Grand Funk or the Eagles? Of course, we have to be talking about the very dapper, the pride of Weyburn, Saskatchewan, Larry Giroux. Now, Lawrence Douglas Giroux played defense for the majority of his career, played in the NHL for 4 different clubs, and made friends every place he went. Now, this haircut led him to be known as many nicknames. He was called Buffalo for his styled hair and sideburns, and it was later reduced to the term Buff, as in Buff Bagwell, Buff is the stuff. Now, when you're born in Weyburn, Saskatchewan, you're born near the ice rink someplace, and that's what happened to him. He played in the WCHL with the Weyburn Red Wings in 1968, but his big break, of course, was 1970 with the Red Wings, who were in the SJHL. He had 14 goals, 33 assists for 47 points in 36 games and 21 points in the playoffs. Now, he was draft eligible after the 71 season when he had 42 points in 62 games, but nobody took him, ladies and gentlemen. A big mistake. Now, he eventually ended up with the Des Moines Oak Leaves of the IHL for 5 games in 1972 and split time between the Denver Spurs of the WHL and the Fort Worth Wings Detroit affiliate in 1973. Now, 74, he broke in the AHL, had a strong rookie campaign, 22 points in 74 games, including 5 goals, dynamite numbers. 75, he split time between the Kansas City Scouts, 21 games, 6 assists, and the Denver Spurs, and then to the Red Wings. With the Red Wings, he had 22 points in 39 games. Now, 75, he also played with the Virginia Red Wings with 13 points in 14 games. 76, he is still in the Detroit system, played in New Haven of the AHL, 25 points in 67 games, and a goal and assist in 2 points in 10 games with Detroit. 77, majority of the season with Kansas City, 45 points, 75 games, 2 games with Detroit. 78, another cup of coffee with Detroit, but made the playoffs that year, ladies and gentlemen, for his first postseason appearance. 3 points in the regular season, 5 games, and 2 games in the playoffs. 78, unfortunately, most of the year with Kansas City, 60 points in 73 games. 79, after 4 or 5 years mired in the minors, got back to the NHL big time, 27 points in 73 games for St. Louis. 1980, he split time between St. Louis and Hartford and the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, and as well as Springfield Indians, and he played 3 leagues that year, 60 games, 2 goals total, 7 assists for 9 points, and made it back to the playoffs. And there's where he made Hockey Night in Canada. He played with the Gordie Howe-led Hartford Whalers, with Bobby Hull and Dave Keon, against the Montreal Canadiens. And I remember that series like it was yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and Larry's hair looked as good in that series as it did when he broke into the NHL. Now, you would think he would be a perfect fit for the WHA with all that's up and downs, because they were just using him as a replacement defenseman when needed. But you look at his various minor league numbers, especially in that 78 CHL season with Kansas City. Again, a dynamite minor leaguer, a very respected pro player, and it shows in the numbers. NHL totals, 89 points in 274 games, 15 goals, 74 assists, with 333 minutes and penalties. Now, the big season, of course, for him was 79, but that year had 111 minutes in the penalty box. Like I said, not scared to take a penalty. So, Larry, all I can say is that 6 feet, 190, should have been given a full chance in the WHA. I would love to see him play with with Cincinnati or Chicago or Indianapolis protect the key players on those squads. Like Larry was a presence. Not see the poor man's Larry Robinson, but sort of like the poor man's like Rick Chartraw. And I know on occasion, I heard he played forward. I don't have any proof of that, but I heard he was tried for a few games, kind of on a power play style of a third defenseman on a power play. So if you're a fan of Larry Giroux, let me know. Give us a like, comment, or subscribe. Any requests on top players are more than welcome. But just looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe almost 50 years ago? And those haircuts are coming back a little bit, I hope. Just the gel alone would keep the economy going for North America for decades if every third person had that hair. Thanks for listening. Bye.